Most men chase women with flowers, fancy words, and endless effort. They think love is something you convince her into. But here's the truth. Women don't fall in love because of what you buy, or even what you say. They fall in love because of how they feel in your presence. Quietly, slowly, without even realizing it's happening. And if you understand these hidden triggers, you'll see why she chooses one man over another, even when the second guy seems to do more. Let's break it down. 1. She falls for how you handle her silence. Imagine this. She's sitting next to you, but her words are missing. The energy feels different. She's quiet, not texting much, maybe a little distant. Most men see this as danger. They panic. They rush to fill the silence with jokes, compliments, or worse, endless questions like, "What's wrong? Did I do something?" That nervous energy actually pushes her away because it shows her you can't handle stillness. But here's where attraction works differently. A woman starts falling when she realizes you don't lose your calm when she goes quiet. Instead of panicking, you stay steady. You give her room. You don't try to force her into speaking, you simply remain present. Maybe you sip your drink, glance at her softly, and let her come back when she's ready. This is deeper than it looks. Women aren't always testing you with words. They test you with silence. They want to see if you're strong enough to hold space without breaking. If your calm tells her, "I'm not here to control you. I'm here with you," she feels something rare. Trust begins. Safety builds. And slowly, without saying it out loud, she thinks, "I can be myself around him. He doesn't need to fix me." It's not flashy. It's not loud. But love doesn't start with grand speeches. It starts with how safe she feels sitting in silence next to you. 2. She falls for the man who stands steady in her storms. Let's be real. Every woman, no matter how strong, has emotional storms. There are days when she's upset, insecure, or full of doubt. Many men crumble here. They get defensive, they argue, or they run from the heat. But this is where love is born, or broken. The man who doesn't flinch when she's emotional, that's the man she starts to attach to. He doesn't throw words at her like weapons. He doesn't try to solve her as if she's a problem to fix. Instead, he listens. He breathes. He stays calm. Picture this. She's venting about her rough day, her voice sharp, emotions high. Instead of snapping back, you keep your tone grounded. You nod. You let her feel what she feels. You're not saying, "I don't care." You're saying, "Your storm doesn't scare me." That's powerful. Why? Because it makes her feel emotionally safe. And women don't fall in love with men who run away from their chaos. They fall for the ones who can stand still in the rain and not lose themselves. That quiet strength plants something deeper than attraction. It plants trust. And trust is the seed of love. 3. She falls for the man who protects his peace. Every woman is drawn to a man who values his own energy. Think about it. If you're always available, always replying in seconds, always begging for her time, she starts to feel like your life has no center. And that actually makes her respect you less. Now, flip it. You don't ignore her, but you don't throw yourself at her either. When she texts, you reply in your own rhythm. When she tries to test your patience, you don't chase. You show her through your actions that your peace matters. This isn't arrogance. It's quiet leadership. It's saying, "My energy is sacred. I don't give it out carelessly." And the moment she feels that, she sees you differently. Women fall for men who guard their peace because it shows strength. It tells her you don't need her approval to feel whole. Think of it like this. A candle flame looks pretty, but it's fragile. It flickers at every wind. But a steady fire? That commands attention. When your energy is steady, when you don't let every little thing disturb you, she can't help but feel drawn in. That's when love starts creeping in quietly, without words. 4. She falls for how you handle her flaws. No woman falls for a man who only loves her best version. Anyone can admire her when she's glowing, laughing, confident. But what about when she's insecure, moody, or messy? That's the test. Here's the truth. She's watching how you respond when she shows her imperfect side. Do you judge her? Do you pull away? Do you make her feel small? If you do, love dies before it begins. But if you can stand there, patient, steady, and let her be human, that's when she feels something powerful. A woman falls in love when she realizes she can be real with you. She doesn't need to perform. She doesn't need to hide her flaws. You're not asking her to be perfect. You're giving her the space to be herself. That doesn't mean you accept bad behavior. Boundaries matter. But when it comes to her insecurities, when you don't shame her, when you don't make her feel broken, that's when she feels safe. And safety in her flaws? That's the doorway to love. 5. She falls for quiet leadership, not control. Here's where so many men get it wrong. They think being a leader means barking orders, always taking charge, or making her feel like she has no say. That's not leadership. That's control. And control kills love faster than anything. What women actually fall for is a man who leads with calm confidence. Quiet leadership. It's not about dominating her. It's about showing her that you move with direction. For example, instead of saying, "We're doing this, end of story," you simply plan something and invite her along. You pick the restaurant, you book the table, you drive with certainty. Not because you're trying to flex, but because you don't hesitate. Hesitation makes her nervous. Constant indecision makes her question you. But clarity? That makes her relax. Imagine her always feeling like she has to carry the weight of planning, guiding, controlling. Eventually, she gets tired. But when she feels like she can lean back because you've got it handled, she feels safe. And safe is where love grows. Quiet leadership also shows up in conflict. Instead of exploding, you stay grounded. Instead of shouting, you guide the conversation. You never force her, but you don't let chaos take the wheel either. You anchor the space. That subtle power makes her trust you. And trust isn't loud, it's silent. This is the paradox. The less you try to control her, the more she naturally follows your lead. Because she doesn't feel pushed, she feels guided. That's when her guard comes down. That's when she falls. 6. She falls for the connection you don't force. Let's talk about connection. Most guys try too hard. They overshare on the first date. They push for deep conversations too soon. They demand vulnerability as if closeness can be rushed. And women see right through it. Forced intimacy feels fake. Real connection is like a plant. You don't yank on it to make it grow. You water it. You let the sun do its work. You wait. And that's how bonds are built, with patience. A woman remembers the man who doesn't rush, the one who lets silence exist without making it awkward, the one who listens not to reply, but to understand, the one who doesn't demand, "Tell me everything about your past," but instead waits for her to open up in her own time. This patience feels rare. It shows her you're not desperate. You're not trying to lock her in as fast as possible. You're comfortable letting things unfold. And when she finally shares her deepest parts, she feels safe because she knows you didn't force it. Love comes from this quiet respect. The connection wasn't built on pressure, it was built on trust. And trust, once rooted, doesn't shake easily. 7. She falls for the life you live without her. Here's the irony that confuses most men. They think if they show a woman she's their whole world, she'll love them more. But in reality, if your life revolves only around her, she loses attraction. Why? Because it feels like you're depending on her to give you purpose. And that's too heavy for her to carry. What draws her in is the opposite. You already having a life. You already moving with rhythm, direction, and purpose, whether she's there or not. Think about it. You're working on your goals. You're building something. You're living with discipline. She sees that and wonders, how do I fit into his life? That curiosity pulls her in stronger than words ever could. This doesn't mean you shut her out. It means you don't stop your growth to make her comfortable. You don't wait for her to inspire you. You inspire yourself. And in doing that, you become magnetic. She doesn't want to be your reason to live. She wants to be part of the life you've already chosen. And when she sees you moving forward without needing her to push you, that's when her respect turns into love. 8. She falls for your emotional gravity. There's something rare about a man who isn't easily shaken. Most guys swing between two extremes. They're either cold and distant, or they're overly emotional and reactive. Neither works. What actually makes a woman fall is emotional gravity, the quiet pull of a man who stays composed no matter what. Being emotionally unavailable doesn't mean being cold. It means you're not desperate. You don't cling. You don't need her constant reassurance. You're steady in who you are, and her moods don't throw you off balance. Picture this. She tries to get a reaction by pulling back, by being moody, by testing. Instead of overreacting or begging, you stay calm. You don't punish her, but you also don't chase. You're just grounded. That's gravity. And here's the hidden psychology. Women are drawn to what they can't easily shake. If your calm presence remains solid no matter what, she can't help but feel curious. That curiosity slowly becomes desire. And that desire, with time, turns into attachment. When she feels like her chaos doesn't break you, she thinks, "This man is safe. This man is strong. This man is rare." That's when she falls. Not because of what you said, but because of the unshakable presence you carry. So here's the truth. Women don't fall in love with flowers, long speeches, or endless effort. They fall in love with how they feel when they're around you. The way you handle silence, the way you stand steady in storms, the way you protect your peace, guide with quiet strength, and let connection unfold naturally. Love isn't built on grand gestures. It's built on energy, on presence, on the calm gravity you carry that makes her feel safe, steady, and drawn to your life. If this video hit home, comment the words "emotional gravity" down below so I know you're part of this community. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, real love isn't something you chase. It's something you become.